Hi, I'm Jim Gordon back with another Small Cap interview. You can see all our interviews on smallcapinterviews.com. Joining us once again, back for another chat, is Chris Wensley. He is the CEO of Crestview Exploration. Chris, good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Jim.
Thank you, sir. Hey, let's start with a little information. We'll get to updates with the company and what you're doing, but a little background on Crestview.
Yeah, sure. Crestview is a CSE listed company. We have our flagship properties near Elko, Nevada, in the Tuscarora Mountains above the Tuscarora mining camp. The properties include Rock Creek, the Divide mine property, and the Falcon mine property, all within very close proximity to each other. In fact, with the claim expansion that we've run over the last year and a half, we've narrowed the gap between all of the properties to as little as one claim block between Rock Creek and Divide, and several between Falcon and Divide. Falcon and Rock Creek are separated by less than 1 kilometer, and in total they encompass approximately 5,000 or so acres.
Let's talk about some of the neighbors in this region. We're looking at kind of a geographical view of the neighborhood. Let's talk about who else is in that region.
Yeah, just 20 miles south of us is Barrick Newmont's Gold Strike mine. That's a mine that has produced 44 million ounces of gold to date.
Wow.
The immediate area and surrounding mines is known as the Carlin Complex, and it is reported to be the highest concentration of gold deposits in North America. Again, we're just 20 miles north of that. 19 miles approximately to the east of us is a property known as Jarrett Canyon, and it's a Carlin deposit. It's off the Carlin trend, but it's a Carlin deposit that's produced over 9 million ounces of gold to date. And then to the west, a little bit south and west of us, is the Midas mine, operated by Hecla, and it has produced to date about 2.2 or so million ounces of gold, and reported to be a 5 million ounce resource. So we're in an area of world-class production. It's a very fertile environment.
Let's talk about your latest news release. Came out not too long ago, because I want to tie in. You brought some samples here today.
Sure.
Let's start with the news release and then we'll get to the samples.
Well, in the interest of moving our properties forward, we got to a stage with Rock Creek where we're ready to drill. So our focus is to get out, raise the funds necessary to drill this coming summer. But in the meantime, we have other properties as part of our Tuscarora complex, the Falcon being the most recent acquisition, and we needed to initiate some groundwork there. So late in October, we managed to get out and perform sampling for a couple of days. The historic Falcon mine reportedly produced, starting in the late 1800s, as much 100 ounces of silver per ton. There are much higher samples that have been gathered from the mine and surrounding area, historic ones, but unverified by us. So we started sampling at the Falcon mine and tracing a vein that hosts the mine for a kilometer. And so we gathered samples all along that kilometer. We just received the assays back, and so we put the news out, and what we discovered was continuous mineralization over that 1 kilometer. All but one sample came back with measurable gold and silver. And in fact, the highest sample came back 720 grams per ton silver with some gold. And then the next one was 238 grams per ton silver. And then the highest gold sample was 1.13 grams per ton. And we had a few others at or just about 1 gram per ton of gold as well. So that's exciting and important. This vein is part of a vein system. There are about 16 of them that have been identified and previously mapped. They do extend north to Rock Creek and then all along the length of Rock Creek from south to north. So in all, we've identified about 8 kilometers of strike length on these veins. We have sampled 6.5, say, of that, and we have established continuous mineralization all along that strike length. So it's a pretty compelling argument to get in there and start drilling. And so with the other work that we've done north at Rock Creek, we've been able to come up with high priority targets based on all of the exploration work and then the geophysical studies that we did as well, HSAMT, and we've been able to identify subsurface anomalies, structure, etc., and pinpointed where we need to drill ASAP. As far as Falcon goes, because of what we just discovered on the surface on that 1 kilometer stretch, we've got to get in there and do a lot more work. And that's something else we'll start as soon as we can get access to the property in the spring.
Let's talk about the samples you brought for us today. Let's start with this one closest to me.
That one was taken a third of a kilometer north from the Falcon mine, third to half a kilometer. It's from a sample that I believe came back at about 0.98 grams per ton of gold. You can see why it's appealing is there are some, you can see some rose quartz in there amongst the other quartz, and the way it, you see all those spaces and gaps or vugs are shaped there. It indicates boiling that happened, way back, and that's a pretty important process for mineralization.
Second one here.
So these are rocks that we gathered at a dump site of a prospect pit south of the Falcon mine by about 150 meters south of the Falcon entrance. You see the dark gray, it's sort of a blue quartz, and that houses a lot of silver oxide, and this came from a sample that ran 720 grams of silver per ton.
Our last one closest to you.
Yeah, same thing, just another piece of the same rock.
Chris, great to talk to you as always. It is Chris Wensley. He is the CEO of Crestview Exploration. More information, crestview.exploration.com. Thank you again, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching another Small Cap Interview. I'm Jim Gordon. Check out all our interviews at smallcapinterviews.com.